Bonjour. Hello, everyone. Yes. So, as you can tell, I am in and out of YouTube. Busy school, busy life, and also IDV sucks. So, I don't know. I post when I post, and when I don't post, well, then that's obvious. But one thing that I have wanted to try out was this thing of going on Reddit and doing the Am I the Asshole things, reading them, and putting them over gameplays. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. I don't know if you guys will like it. I think it'll be enjoyable for me, personally. But it's up to you guys to see how you take it in as a consumer or, viewer. And also apologies for the tier differences, like this first match is in Manti and the other one is in Ogre 4 or something like that. They're spread out. I recorded a bunch of videos back when I played a week ago. And they're scattered throughout. So don't mind that. Anyways, first up from Fallon Grace. Am I the asshole for yelling at my husband's mother for announcing my pregnancy using my husband's Facebook account? Okay. I, female 23, found out that I was pregnant very recently. It was not planned, and my husband and I are trying to make a decision regarding going through with the pregnancy. Here's the thing. I told him not to tell anyone, but he ended up telling his mom, but made her swear that she wouldn't tell. He didn't tell her we aren't sure about it, but just to stay quiet. Well, she begged and begged, and she announced it on her Facebook. She begged and begged that she announce it on her Facebook under the guise of using our permission. But I said absolutely not and lied and said my husband and I wanted to announce it later ourselves if we decide to go through with it. Just a day ago, I found out she logged into my husband's Facebook account and dropped the bomb, parentheses, made the announcement, and yes, she pretended to be my husband, close parentheses, behind our back. I was floored. I called her and said she figured if she made the announcement using one of our social media accounts, then we won't mind, and it'd still look like we made the announcement. But like I stated earlier, we're still trying to make a decision. I lost my temper and yelled at her, which made her cry. I said she overstepped and messed up completely, then hung up. My husband came into the room yelling about my poor treatment and abuse towards his mom. I told him his mom violated our privacy and put us in more pressure to finally make a decision for the baby. Since the family are now calling to say congratulations, he said that it was his Facebook, so none of my privacy was violated, and that I shouldn't have yelled and hurt her feelings and made her cry, no matter what, period. He demanded I apologize and we'll talk about the pregnancy later, but I didn't give an answer and he refused when he tried to force me to go to her house and grovel with apologies. Am I the asshole? So, what we can see here is this woman is pregnant. It's a couple, obviously. They've been married for some time, since they are married, wife, husband, and now they're gonna go with the pregnancy. But they still haven't decided. I think it was screwed up for his mom to go into his account, into her son's account. First of all, why does she have the login to his account? I don't know why you would give your mom credentials to do, or that's a lot of power to have. But also, what was she thinking? That's not, it's her business as a grandmother, to know, right? But it's not her business to tell everyone. That's what baby showers are for, that's what announcements are for, that's what gender reveals are for. And she kind of ruined that. Not to mention that the wife and husband are still trying to decide to have the baby. So, of course, it puts the woman in a difficult position, because it's kind of oh, we're having a baby. And, like, abortion would just seem wrong after that announcement, and everyone thinks that they're the ones who announced it, so it would make them look very bad if they decided to not go through with the pregnancy. So I don't think yelling was the right solution. I understand that she yelled, or why she yelled, because of course it kind of like ruined the entire thing, and now it puts her in a very difficult place. So the yelling is justified. I will say that it is very much justified. But of course it could have been handled different ways, like, talk things down. But after that, I mean, there really isn't much that you could quietly sit down and talk about. It's kind of like, why did you do that? It's not something that you should do. And of course, the husband, the son of the mom, is kind of like, why did you hurt my mom? Because, family first and things like that. So I see that. I very much see that. Although I would have to say that she is not the asshole. I just went back and listened to the first part, and I feel like I should tone back my articulation just a little bit, because the T's are very strong. Anyways, here is the next one. Am I the asshole for not telling my dad that I had canceled our hotel reservation after he insisted on taking my stepsister? My 17 female parents divorced 10 years ago because my dad had cheated on my mom. He married the other woman who had 2 kids, my stepsister Julia, 17 female, and my stepbrother Josh, 14 male. While my dad cheated, their mom didn't, because their dad had already passed away. Before that, I was a total daddy's girl. I adored him and I was glued to his hip. My mom encouraged me to keep a relationship with him after they split. His new wife's family never paid much attention to me. They weren't mean nor good, but at first I always had to share my dad with them whenever I visited. If we went hiking or fishing, they had to come. If we went to the movies, had dinner outside or anything, they had to come. I remember I used to cry at night because I couldn't understand. This stopped when I turned 15 because I wanted to do something special with just my dad, and when he said that we should invite my stepbrothers, I just broke down crying, asking him why he never wanted to spend time with me alone. We had a long talk when I got to vent how awful I felt just sitting there waiting for him to turn his head and notice me, because if I tried to talk or have his attention, they would get in the middle while ignoring me, and he apologized. After that, we would spend more time one-on-one, and just a very few instances with all of them. I won't lie, I really enjoyed it. I could really talk with my dad, do fun stuff, and be around him without having to wait for my stepbrothers to stop talking to him or anything. Julia and I'll be graduating this summer. I got an early acceptance to my college of choice when I told my parents. Both decided to do something to celebrate. My mom and I will be having a getaway to the weekend. We'll be having a getaway weekend to the spa, and my dad said he would take me to the beach. I was honestly really excited, so I offered to pay for the hotel reservation because I wanted to feel mature. Parentheses LO, close parentheses. I do not know what that means. But moving on. My dad said no a bunch of times, but I ended up convincing him. We were supposed to leave today, but when he came to pick me up, my stepsister was there. He said it was a surprise since both of his girls were graduating. Apparently, she begged him to come with us, and he agreed, saying that she could get his bed and he'll sleep on the floor between us. I could feel my eyes burning, and I told him that this wasn't the deal. He tried to convince me, but he ended up leaving with her. In my rage, I called the hotel to cancel the room, and I didn't tell my dad. When they arrived, he tried to check in, and when he couldn't, he called me. I only said, yeah, I canceled it, and hung up. He sent me a long text apologizing, and my mom said that what I did wasn't okay and that I owe them an apology. Apparently, they're on their way back because they couldn't find a hotel. On the bottom, it says ETA. As someone suggested, I'm adding this. The trip with my dad and the spa getaway with my mom was because I got an early was because I got an early acceptance, nor because I was graduating high school. That's why Julia had no business being there. My dad asked about inviting her, and I said no. I also informed my dad that since he keeps hurting me and putting his other family above what I explicitly asked him for, then I would rather go to North Carolina with him, and that he was currently uninvited to my graduation. Wow, that's harsh. That this was the last time, and while I still love him, and it hurts my heart that it has come to this, I can't keep doing it anymore. I asked him not to contact me again, and I blocked him. As for my mom, I explained everything, and after much crying from both parts, she apologized and hugged me because she didn't know. She's supporting my decision. So, I guess the question is she the asshole? So, right, earlier on in their life, she had like this breakdown of how she felt, why her dad was not like going with her alone, which kind of didn't really make sense. I'm not a parent, obviously, but I don't think it's necessary to bring every child with you on these excursions. But once she like broke down and she saw how much it was affecting her, he did change and started doing one-on-one more with her, and hanging out with the other children separately, understandably. Then as for this trip, I think it was wrong of the dad to not tell her that Julia was coming, because she knows how the other daughter is. Like, they don't really get along, or she's had these issues in the past. So for him to just show up and say it's a surprise, it kind of course went badly. And yeah, I mean, I think her calling the hotel and canceling the reservation was a petty move. But then again, she's also a teenager, and she also did pay for it. Why would she want to pay for a trip that she wasn't going on, and it just kind of got like given to Julia and her dad? And of course she stayed at home, so I understand that. I mean, she could have talked with the dad to get like her money back or something like that. But that, I think it was an asshole move. I don't know. I don't think she was mature about the situation given her age. And canceling the hotel reservation was a very petty move. I'm not gonna lie. That was, and then uninviting her dad to the graduation. Like, that's her dad. That's like a whole parent. And divorce is like very traumatizing at a young age. So some of these actions are justified. But the dad, I mean, overall, the dad was wrong to not let his biological daughter know about inviting Julia on the trip or saying yes to her. And also the biological daughter, she is the asshole for canceling that trip and being petty about the hotel. That's what I think. But yes, as for this, this was a video for today. Something new, something different. Let me know what you guys thought about this. This is also gonna help with my reading out loud, articulation, I don't know, speaking, just like that. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. Bye. Enjoy your life. Stay happy. Mwah.